So last night we stayed in the Walmart Supercenter in Joplin, Missouri, and now we drove about half an hour this morning and we are here at the George Washington Carver home. Well, when he was a little boy. So the kids and I have just finished reading a book about him and learning about his life and how he contributed. It was a good upbringing that he ended up having, considering his circumstances. He was born into slavery. His mother, Mary, we don't even know her last name, but she was taken when he was an infant, and they abandoned him on the side of the road, or at least they abandoned him. I don't know if it was on the side of the road, but the people who took him out of their home. The Carvers, Moses and Susan Carver, were very pro-union and against slavery, even though they did have a slave. And they, when he was abandoned, they sent a scout out and they found him, and they took him and his older brother Jim in and raised them as their own. So anyway, so I believe that the home we're here at, I can't remember if the home is here, but anyways, that's exciting. So that was the start of his life, and then we're about to go learn a little bit more about him. They do call him the plant doctor, and he's also known for what he did for the peanuts industry. So come on, Liberty, let's go learn. Are you ready, cute pie? We're at the George Washington Carver and it says warning, peanuts in use. Why is that funny?
Because George Washington Carver was a peanut man.
Why was he called the Peanut Man?
Because he discovered 300 ways to use the peanut.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Finds out everybody's allergic to them.
Guys, show me your badges. Hold them up.
No. Give them all back to me.
George.
Oh, Dad's gonna swear you in. Hold on, Daddy's gonna swear you in. Ready? Raise your right hand. So Dad has to swear them in to get the Junior Ranger.
As a Junior Ranger, repeat after me.
Okay.
As a Junior Ranger,
As a Junior Ranger,
I promise to do my best
to play best.
to explore. Okay.
Yay!
IW Junior Rangers.
George doesn't think that's funny because he didn't get
IW
it.
Junior Ranger. Here's your badge. Here's your badge.
Ew, it's a bat fly.
Here's your badge, Miss Junior Ranger.
Let me see it, Autumn. Show me your bean. Are you excited? So this does mark the birthplace of George Washington Carver. I'm not sure if this is supposed to commemorate the actual spot, but I know that it's within this vicinity here. If you don't know, so his mother named him George, and he ended up taking on the last name of Carver. Those were the white, Susan and Moses, they were his mother's owners, and their last name was Carver. And what happened was, when he was older and he left them, he traveled to Neosho, and he stayed with a woman there so he could go to school, because the school that was here near Diamond Grove would not allow any black people to attend it. It was only for white people. And so he stayed with her and went to the Neosho Black School in the town, I think just a little south from here. And when he said, well, she asked him who he lived with, he said, I lived with the Carvers. So he took on the last name of Carver. And then when he was living, I can't remember what city it was, but when he was living in another city, there was another George Carver there, and it kept getting their mail mixed up. So he just added a W for his middle name so the postman would know who he was. And somebody asked him, does that stand for Washington? And he liked it, so that's how he got his name, George Washington Carver. Pretty cool. I just found a stick bug.
It's light green because it just barely got out of its skin. It's still turning black, so that's what those spots are.
Wow.
His wings are delicate right now. I found him flipped over on his side. I tried to help him.
That is seriously cool. And look, there was a stick bug somewhere right there, so don't, there you go, you got it.
I found that. I saw
So there is a big stick bug who's scared and is clearly climbing. Don't move. He's on your back.
I have 2 bugs. Wow! I don't like it. I don't. Woo!
So this is a beautiful painting here of little George with his plants. So he was called the plant doctor because as a little boy though, he used to take plants and he would figure out just by testing it out and experimenting whether plants would grow in a certain area, if they needed more or less shade, if they needed more water. And so the people around the area that didn't know very much would actually come to little George and say, hey, my plants aren't growing very well, can you help me out? So that's why he got his term as the plant doctor for that reason as well. He also advised the Southerners who were growing only cotton in their fields when some big beetle came along that somehow got migrated up from Mexico, and it was taking over their cotton crops, and he was telling them that the soil was being depleted because they planted cotton year after year, and he told them to rotate their crops and use sweet potatoes instead. So he actually also helped the Southern farmers to use different types of crops as well. It was pretty cool. Another cool thing about George Washington Carver was he was the first black man to graduate from Iowa State and attend Iowa State University. After he was admitted to a college, but when he got there, after they admitted him, they found out he was black and he was told he couldn't go. So he almost thought he couldn't go to college at all, and then he lived with a family called the Milhollands, and they kept pushing him to reapply to another school, and that's when he got into the Iowa State University. What's one of the most favorite things you like about George Washington Carver?
I don't know.
Something that he did, something he said.
Oh, I liked when he had this company where he took all of these men and showed them how to do stuff, and I like that he helped other plants.
Yeah, he helped some of the poor black people out there and the farmers, right? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
When he was in Alabama, huh? That was pretty cool. What you doing, little climber?
There's a tadpole with you! Tadpole. Holy heck! Frog, huge tadpole. Where? Oh, it's hard to see. It's funny. And there's fish. Yeah. I spied a crawdad. I spied a tadpole, a big tadpole, or it's a fish. And
So they're showing this picture here, if you guys can see it, of George Washington Carver as a little boy. And what I love about this is it's talking about his very first prayer. And it says that I was just a mere boy when converted, hardly 10 years old. There isn't much of a story to it. God just came into my heart one afternoon while I was alone in the loft of our big barn. I was shelling corn, and one of our neighbors about my age came by one Saturday morning, and in talking and playing he told me about going to Sunday school. I was eager to know what a Sunday school was. He said they sang hymns and prayed. I asked him what prayer was. I do not remember what he said. As soon as he left, I climbed up into the loft, knelt down and by the barrel of corn, and prayed as best I could. I do not remember what I said. I only recall that I felt so good that I prayed several times before I quit. This was my simple conversion, and I have tried to keep the faith. That was actually a letter that he wrote to Isabel Coleman in 1931 about his first prayer, and I just thought it was a really sweet story, and I absolutely love this beautiful painting here. I wish I knew who did it. It doesn't really say. It does say that all of his life he spoke openly about his faith in God. His spiritual life started with a boy's Saturday morning prayer in a barn. I think that's really, really cool. So this is not a field. I thought this was a field of green grass, and I realize now this is water. Oh my goodness, this is, and there's like, Jeff, watch out. Jeff, watch out.
I see it! They look like
Jeff,
3 turtles on the wood
let me get it.
sticking out.
Watch her.
They look like statues, but they're not. One's blinking in his eye.
3 turtles right there. And they're just covered in this green
I thought they
algae,
were,
mossy stuff.
Dad, I thought they were in the water farm.
No, look at the one blinking his eye, the one that...
So this literally looks like grass, but it's water?
Yeah.
What is in it? Because that is crazy. How do you prove to me it's not grass? Go.
Throwing rocks at it. Or it could be thinking grass.
That is, it's so thick.
Sucks right in, yeah. It's so
What
thick,
is
just
it?
like- it's this
It's
stuff
got to be
here.
some kind of algae or
This stuff
something.
right here.
Well, we don't know if that's poisonous or not, is it?
Oh, they touched it. Oh, look at the little baby.
So, oh, that's what that whole thing pond is made up
Yeah.
of. It looks like little
Seeds.
seeds.
I don't think they're seeds. They look like eggs.
Are you sure? This whole thing is eggs.
It's green stuff. It's like crazy. I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know, it is weird. I wish they had something about it.
Come on, let's go.
Because I thought it looked like a giant golf course.
Let's go, guys.
Hey, I wish you could see yourself just sitting there on my chair. I'm staring at you, you don't even notice. Should've told you straight away, you don't have to be afraid anymore.
I like my pretty turtle. Can we leave them down so we can...
You know.
Okay, I'll let you put him down. I'm gonna put him down.
That I won't let you go. Put your arms around me and I'll let you know how it feels when time.
So, sorry about the noise. There is a tractor out here doing farming, but I believe that this is George and Susan Carver's home, where George grew up as a little boy. So let's go see the inside.
It's very empty in here.
It's very empty inside, but you can kind of see what it was like. They've got a fireplace. It might be too dark in here.
What's in here?
He did not live in this house. He was born in the slave cabin and raised by Moses and Susan in their cabin. This was not built after George left the farm to go to school, but this was their home. So what I love here is that George Washington Carver said to Glenn Clark in 1935 that all my life I've risen regularly at 4 o'clock and have gone into the woods and talked with God. I just think that is just a really cool
looks
thing
like a turtle shell.
that he did. Hold on, Faith, move. I can't get the lighting. There you go.
His hat looks like a turtle.
So there you go. Can you see the lighting?
His hat looks like a turtle shell.
It does kind of look like a turtle shell.
George Washington Carver said, "Someday I will have to leave this world. And when that day comes, I want to feel that I have an excuse for having lived in it. I want to feel that my life has been of some service to my fellow men."
I wish I could show you more, 'cause baby you deserve some more.